Hey everyone, welcome to a short demo on the new capabilities for Honeycode. With today's launch, we're enabling our users to integrate their existing workflows and data sources with Honeycode. Now you can light up different use cases to send data from your existing applications into Honeycode or send data out from Honeycode apps to a application of your own choice, an external application of your own choice. For this demo purpose, I will use my Alexa device to send data into a web applications created and running on Honeycode, and then send data out from the same Honeycode app into a messaging app like Slack. Note, I will be using Zapier as the integration bridge to enable this data in and data out capability. For this demo, I'm going to use a Honeycode template app meeting runner, which allows users to quickly get set up and try this new feature out rather than trying from scratch. But you can definitely go ahead and use any of your custom app that you have already built on Honeycode. It should work as fine. I already have a meeting app created, which is already running. So you can, as you can see, I have 2 records in this table, and the web app is already built out. It shows up. Basically, you can go in and do all this stuff. So let's start with the demo and see the capabilities. Alexa, launch Zapier.
Welcome to Zapier, where you can use voice commands to trigger zaps. To get started, say trigger a zap.
Trigger a zap.
Say one of your trigger phrases from a zap you've set up.
Create a meeting.
Okay, what data do you want me to send to your Honeycode Meeting Runner app?
Weekly sales meeting.
Got it. I'm triggering one zap with your trigger phrase. Create a meeting.
Now you can see the data that I just spoke should be making its way into the Honeycode table and then getting reflected on the Honeycode app. There you go. This record made its way through weekly sales meeting, and there goes the app. The app gets updated. But wait, the agenda is still set as to update. It is still not complete, and it is a keyword that I have used that is to be updated, and it is set up by Alexa. Now let's see if we can make use of the same mechanism to find this record and update it. Alexa, launch Zapier.
Welcome to Zapier, where you can use voice commands to trigger zaps. To get started, say trigger a zap.
Trigger a zap.
Say your zap's trigger phrase.
Set my agenda.
Okay, what data do you want me to send to your Honeycode Meeting Runner app?
Sales target for the week.
Got it. I'm triggering one zap with your trigger phrase. Set my agenda.
Okay, with the new data that I sent, it should be searching for this record and updating it in the table. There you go, sales target for the week. It should be getting reflected on the app in about a few seconds. There you go, sales target for the week. Now let's see how this end-to-end thing works. So I have a Zap setup, which gets triggered on a key phrase. So create a meeting or set my agenda was my trigger phrase. So on that, I have a conditional Zap setup to take an action. The path A was to create a record in the table. Path B was to search for a certain keyword for the agenda and update it. So that's how I got the data into Honeycode. That is, if I insert a row and then update a record or update a column in the table. So that's how the first part of this thing works. Now let's look at data out scenario from Honeycode. As you can see, I have a button here which says notify by Slack. If I press that, a notification should be sent to Slack. But before that, I already got one Slack notification out. Just let's take a look at it. Now the first, when the record got created, I had an automation set up to send information out to Slack, which was the weekly sales meeting. Meeting agenda was to update set up by Slack. This was a meeting created by the username that I'm using and the meeting duration and time. Now going back to Honeycode, say we want to make some edits. Let's say we make the meeting as 2 hours. We have a weekly sales meeting. We want to update the agenda sales target for next 2 weeks. Hit done. Go back to meetings. The information is already updated. We say notify by Slack. Now let's go back to the Slack channel and see what happens. Okay, the meeting name and the meeting agenda gets updated. Meeting sales target for the next 2 weeks. Meeting duration was updated. Meeting was obviously created by this user. Meeting got updated by the user that I'm using, which is currently noted here. So this is the capability to show how the data is sent out of Honeycode. Now to demonstrate what was happening here, we have the new capability, the automation called a webhook. The webhook was set up as a Zapier endpoint, and data was sent out based on the payload that we have. If key value pair is set up and the data gets sent out on the Zapier side, we need to map the action to the information that we receive and send it to the Slack channel that we want to send it out to. That demonstrates the data in and data out capability of Honeycode. Thank you for the demo.